It all, man. I'm getting in some light. I'm getting in some light. I'm getting in some light. I ain't even gonna try to make this one too long at all, man. It's been a lot of fugaziness going on when it comes to the great Angel Reese, especially because you got a lot of dudes exposing themselves and how they view consent and how they be lost in the sauce and thinking coercion is consent and how they believe that if you post something on your own page that you know what I'm saying, feel like it's a thirst trap, this mean that other people can sexualize you. You know what I'm saying? What I know is that the same people that want to cop a plea and act crazy when it comes to, consent in women's bodies is the same dudes that understand consent when it comes from, when it comes to them getting unwanted advances from, you know what I'm saying, gay dudes. You feel me? If your mama posts a thirst trap on Twitter or TikTok, it does not justify her having unwanted sexual advances. You feel what I'm saying? When Angel Reese talks about how she has not been happy for the last year, you know what I'm saying, in many different ways since she won the national championship because she's being harassed, and you think it's smooth or cute to talk about, you can't be a big bad wolf and then be a cowardly dog. You did it to yourself. It's like, Emmanuel Acho, that ain't what it was. And there's a lot of black men that's really repeating the same thing that a lot of the alt-right white supremacist Angel Reese haters was saying and doing, and you don't recognize it. You feel me? When white people view us as black men, as thugs and criminals, we recognize what's happening. We recognize that they are prescribing a particular identity on our bodies that's not who we is. And what we know, if you're being real, is that when an African-American male, especially a straight one, emulates any type of aesthetic or dress about hip-hop culture, the white gaze is going to use the white gaze, G-A-Z-E, gaze, like eyes. They're going to view us as being thug and criminal. So if you view black women and saying, like, I'm going to meet a high greeter, bro. If she look like a hoe, I'm going to treat her like a hoe. You are also perpetuating that white supremacist idea of respectability politics and saying that you have the power to dictate some identities, somebody else's identity, and it's all based off your perception. That's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? If a man posts a picture of a thirst trap on YouTube, it does not justify this man getting unwanted, unconsensual sexual advances. That's harassment. You feel me? When we talk about this concept of rape culture, it's literally about how particular values, languages, you know what I'm saying, or words, you know what I'm saying, become normalized to make it where we become desensitized to what's actually going on. You feel me? If this woman is talking about being harassed or, you know what I'm saying, being sexualized or getting death threats, and you think the most important thing to talk about is, well, you posted this bikini right here, you were sexualizing yourself and you skipping over the death threat parts. It's like, hey, congratulations. Congratulations. You have successfully upgraded or successfully perpetuated the way that black women are disavowed. You feel me? When Emmanuel Acho tries to say he gonna give a gender neutral, race subjective, you know what I'm saying, analysis on Angel Reese, and he started talking about her being grown, it sounds a lot like the way that we prescribe black girls being fast, and we try to emphasize, you know what I'm saying, them being grown. And it was just weird. You feel me? It just really come down to the idea of consent being something that a lot of us straight men have issues with understanding, but only when it comes to when we put consent with women's bodies. You feel me? It reminds me of this amazing tweet dialogue I seen a few years ago about consent and metaphorically having $5. Most men we know, like, shit, man, I gave that. It's because I gave him $5. Don't mean I gotta give you $5. You feel me? If I have $5 hanging out my pocket and you ask me for the $5 and I don't say no, it don't justify you going in my pocket and taking the $5. You see what I'm saying? Likewise, when it comes to, sexualizing, listen, if an individual sexualizes a damn self on their own platform, it doesn't give immunity or give freedom to the world to sexualize them. That's not how consent works. You feel me? And it's showing that a lot of y'all dudes that's actually acting like that, y'all are the people that go to the club, and because you feel like a woman is dressed revealing, they mean you can treat her a particular way. Now, recognizing that's literally how law enforcement justifies hyper policing, because they'll be like, hey, here goes a black man that's dressed like this. He's dressed like a thug or a criminal. This is the same thing I see those hip hop people wearing on the TV. This obviously justifies me being able to lock him up or kill him. The same way y'all do. Hey, this woman dressed like a hoe, so justify me treating her like a hoe. And it's like a hoe according to whom? According to you? And this what I know is that, hey, every individual that feel like they are any lick of attractive, you've posted a thirst trap. You feel me? Man, woman, you posted a thirst trap. I know damn well you don't believe because you posted a thirst trap or you thought you was attractive or sexual in that moment, this means that anybody can come to you. You feel me? Like what I know about a lot of y'all is y'all like playing stupid when it's at the expense of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because the same dudes that act like you don't understand consent when it comes to women bodies, you understand consent when it comes to unwanted advances from a gay man. All of a sudden, you understand everything about consent. You feel me? If your mama or your grandma or your sister post a picture on social media, it doesn't justify your homeboys sexualizing her. It don't. I just really. I've come to learn that when you don't uphold the status quo of male domination, a lot of dudes gonna get mad at you. You feel me? Because you are dishonoring your masculinity. You ain't keeping it real in a way to make it where we let these bitches know they place. So because you're not doing that, you simping. You pandering. And I know you simping and you pandering because I only do shit for women when it's transactional. So if I only do shit for women when it's transactional, obviously you talking about women's progression, you obviously being transactional too. So you pandering. What I recognize is that a lot of y'all are inconsistent when it comes to the concept of pandering and simping. You feel me? You only think about it when you feel like it's going towards women. But you would sit there and literally, you feel me, clap and applaud when you're being pandered to by the Kevin Samuels, Andrew Tate, Red Pill, Blue Pill, MTR, you know what I'm saying, type dudes. You have no issue with that. Because what does it mean to have an audience centered around male validation, male affirmation that comes at the expense of women? To me, it sounds like some sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? But apparently on YouTube uniquely, I recognize, hey, that's a big part of YouTube. Or for some reason, the dudes that be in my comment section, whether we talking about a brick lady or my wife, for some reason they have a very cathartic response to my content, and that's the reason why they sit on it all. I think that a lot of them be mediocre content creators, and they got to use some good shit to try to take off on, and somehow it be mine. You feel me? To me, what I know is that when it comes down to consent, a lot of us got a long way to go because you don't know how to respect the autonomy from somebody else's body. And when somebody tells you about consent, you too quick to jump to the idea of simping and pandering. So it literally justifies how that violence operates. You feel me? When we start talking about like rape culture, there is an entire literature base centered around it, specifically about how we talk about women within the media and how we become desensitized to women talking about their own pain, their own trauma, what they're going through. Because think about it. When Emmanuel Acho or anybody else talking shit about, Angel Reese would have been talking, she would have been cocky and bragging if she would have won, but since she lost, now she want to play victim. It's like, so let's play hypothetical. Hypothetically speaking, let's say that she won, and instead of her shooting 7 for 20, she shot, 25 for 25. She shot perfect. You feel me? Would it disavow her feelings and emotions around being harassed and over sexualized and getting death threats? Let's say she wins. If she won and she still talked about getting death threats and over sexualized and being harassed, a lot of y'all still would feel the same way. So I'm gonna make my own video for Emmanuel Acho because I think that he does a lot of fallacious things where he buys into anti-black prepositions that white folks is too scared to say and do, and they'll find somebody like Emmanuel Acho to say it because, hey, Emmanuel said it and he's black. You can't call them racist. That's the reason why he prefaced his whole statement with saying, I'm about to make a racial neutral gender objective or whatever the fuck he said. It was like, bro, you prefacing this because you about to be on some bullshit. And sure enough, that's what he was on. You feel me? Closing this, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm gonna hit you up, Damo, in closing this. A lot of y'all need to think very deeply about consent, thirst traps, and the distinction between coercion and just straight up, you know what I'm saying, like, non-consensual acts. If you believe a woman sexualizes herself, it doesn't give you permission to sexualize her. As a matter of fact, that's some sucker simp shit right there. You know what I'm saying? If you have the idea that you, especially as a black man, if you're a black man and you believe that you gonna see these hoes the way they treat these hoes and the way these hoes come, this, that, and the other, like you are literally doing the same thing that white supremacists do to justify prejudice, discrimination, incarceration, and even death. And what we know is that when it comes to how black women usually face violence, it's usually 9 times out of 10 from their intimate partner. So the same individuals that want to talk about, you know what I'm saying, shit, gender roles and what signs are we sending to the kids? when y'all are saying with your whole chest as a grown man that you should be able to sexualize Angel Reese as a 20-some-year-old because she did it to herself, what messages are you sending to the little boys? Y'all always want to talk about what message is being sent to the little boys when y'all feel like men in dresses. What message, as a grown man with a platform, you feel me, as a grown man with little cousins or anything, what message are you sending to the little boys when you talk about you should be able to sexualize anybody how you feel like because they did it to themselves? Like, what message you think is sent to them? Do you think it teaches them consent? Do you think it teaches them body autonomy and how to respect, you know what I'm saying, somebody's positionality and what they want to do with their body? Or is it saying like, shit, in my mind, the definition of being a hoe is wearing this. So I think that if you wear this, then everybody has to conform and universalize my definition. And if you don't come to that definition, then you whack and you lame. I think that's crazy to me. You see what I'm saying? It's so crazy to me that when y'all get mad about the like brick lady and me being like, hey, we should still be critical about how we protect black women, and we should still be very mindful of how we believe black women. Y'all, no, consciously, you simping, you pandering, she was lying, the police prove X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. It's like, no, the police said she's scamming because she was hit by a bottle and not a brick, and they feel like because she was hit with a bottle and not a brick that she was lying. It doesn't negate that she was hit by a grown man with an object. So the same people that'll be like, hey, consciously, you talk too much about that trans shit, and how dare you bring up trans women being able to pay equity in sport, have equal positions in sports. Trans women should not be able to participate in sports. They should participate in their own sports because trans women, what y'all say, is just men in dresses. That's usually what y'all say, right? I don't get how you can say that and feel so deeply about it. Trans women should not be playing in sports against real women because it's just a man in a dress. And then you sit around and you justify a grown-ass man that identifies as a grown-ass man hitting a woman with the object. And you think that's the gotcha aha moment? That's not, to me, it's not as clever as you think it is. You feel me? So when I'm apologizing and saying two things can be true at the same time, I'm literally accounting for the way I did not account for nuance and being like, hey, she did not, the way she said the shit went down, it didn't go down that way, but she still was hit. You know what I'm saying? That's what that was about. But I recognize that because there are so many individuals that hate black women more than they hate white supremacy, you gonna find them individuals that be able to cultivate an entire audience of a whole bunch of he-man, hating, resentful, you mad because the pretty popular girl in high school didn't give you a hug and now as an adult, you wanna you wanna wreak havoc on the entire world. To me, that's what a lot of the dudes on Twitter, you know what I'm saying, that's giving these think pieces about Angel Reese, that's what y'all giving me. That's what I think about y'all. It's like you coming off as the guy that never was really able to consensually sexualize someone, and now you are trying to use your horrible debate skills, you feel me, and your horrible desire for engagement to try to talk about, well, how can she say we sexualized her? She sexualized herself. Listen, man, if your mama is feeling herself and she posts a picture of a bikini or a picture in a bathing suit by the swimming pool and she thirst trapping, this does not mean that anybody on the streets can sexualize your mama at all, doesn't it? And that's how I know a lot of y'all be lying. And I know that you be almost like you will divorce yourself from critical thinking and divorce yourself from logic just to make a point. And I just, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, and of course there'll be people in the comment section that think like, that's what you do. Hey, I just happen to be, you know, a very seasoned policy debater that's been itching and scratching like a fiend for a structured debate. There are a lot of people on YouTube uniquely that love to tag me and talk about this and talk about that. But every time I talk about, hey, well, instead of you trying to clout chase and run up views and going back and forth with videos, let's just set up us a little live debate. You can pick whether I speak first to last. You can pick how long the speech is. Shit, you can even construct the, you know what I'm saying, the topic. I guarantee you, though, I'm about to intellectually wipe the floor with you, and you're going to be ready to file all type of assault charges for how I do you in 4K. But none of y'all never do that, though. Y'all just want to talk about pandering and simping and really try to, you know what I'm saying, trauma bond with your fellow dudes. That's how I know you don't really care about pandering and simping. I'm actually willing to have a good old debate about what side, you feel me, does the most pandering and simping, and I got all the money that I've ever made to say like, yeah, you manosphere, red pill, blue pill, you feel me, these women got to learn their places. Y'all do the most simping and pandering I ever seen in my life, you feel me? Y'all to literally say things that is illogical just to cultivate an audience with other men. You see what I'm saying? Let's look at the analytics. Let's look at the analytics and show me on your YouTube what is the gender demographic of your, of your audience. A lot of the MTR, man, these feminist men be doing X, Y, and Z. Y'all are like, y'all project. Y'all project in a way that makes it where you can be in denial about how you've cultivated an audience of a whole bunch of insecure men that you pander to at the expense of demonizing, denigrating women. And you see that shit as being admirable and cool, and I see it as being whack and fake. So now it becomes the question of interpretation, because I think what you're doing is simping, you think what I'm doing is simping. What are we gonna do about this? How can we resolve, you see what I'm saying, this little conflict here? What I think would be a great way to resolve it is having us a nice structured debate. You do your research and come with your points about, you know what I'm saying, androgyny and all of those shit, and we can do it. But usually on YouTube, y'all ain't about that action though. You feel me? Y'all just want to have 4-5 hour live streams. You feel me? You don't really want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to consent. I recognize that because some of y'all believe ain't no fun unless we all get some. You feel me? You gave that nigga some pussy and I look way better than him ass type dudes. Y'all really don't understand consent. So you believe that whatever your masculine desire is, you should have it. And as a result, when you don't get it, you act out and you throw temper tantrums. You make up narratives. You do crazy wild shit that is not applicable when you attach it to other situations. Like a woman posting a bikini or a woman saying I'm a catch means that anybody can sexualize her. It's like, hey, there were there were AI generated sexual pictures made of Angel Reese. That's not, she didn't consent to that. That don't mean that because she posted a picture that means she gotta have that. You know what I'm saying? It be ends I know too, man. It be a lot of homophobic, homoerotic motherfuckers on YouTube uniquely that really blows my mind, because it's like, hold on, how can you be homophobic at the same time you're trying to you're trying to forge these very homoerotic relationships with your fellow man? You feel me? You just doing it in a way that is normalized, so you don't see it as homoeroticism, but it doesn't change that it's homoeroticism. You feel me? But you're homophobic, so you're having a hard time really coming to it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of ways that I know people be full of that shit you flush down toilets. You feel me? All of the red pill, blue pill dudes, they post their little pictures where they try to quote unquote thirst trap. They would feel violated if a gay man hopped in their comment section giving them unwanted sexual advances. They understand consent then. And that's how I know it's just like, hey Mario, my name is Consciously, you know what I'm saying? I am a edutainer, professional shit talker, some would say. I have a master's degree in adult and higher education. I have a master's degree in human relations, and I'm a former professor. You know, when you come onto my page and when you see my content, you're seeing the portable skills from my former policy debate life when I was a Hall of Fame debater and a championship winning debate coach. You're also seeing the portable skills of when I was a college policy professor and also a professor of like social work and professor of argumentation. You see what I'm saying? So when you ask who I am, you feel me? I think that I am a bit of a intellectual extraordinaire. You know, I don't make content about marriage. I'm not a relationship guru. You know what I'm saying? I don't make content about how to be accepted by women. You know what I'm saying? I leave that up to the red pill, blue pill, mediocre training, whatever you call his name. I leave that to them. You know what I'm saying? Which always blows me. It's like, hold on. So you think what I'm doing, giving an analysis about power and domination in terms of gender, is simping, but you don't think that this man telling you and giving you relationship advice about how to, you know what I'm saying, manipulate and swoon a woman is not simping. Interesting. 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 You know what I'm saying? But you know, what we know is Consciously has also been nominated for NAACP Image Awards. I was a part of the YouTube content creator class, the Black YouTube content creator class of 2022. You feel me? I've had the opportunity to do multiple research residencies with YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I have now a partnership with this organization centering around HIV vaccine trials and how, you know what I'm saying, impacts, you know what I'm saying, the Black community and shit. You know, I do a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? I'm an intersectional, interdisciplinary former professor that also, you know what I'm saying, currently turned the social media, you know what I'm saying, into my virtual classroom. So, you know, anybody in my mind that comes across my content is either a current student or potential student. But I also acknowledge that I'm an acquired taste. When I was a 9th and 10th grade English teacher at this Title I school in Oklahoma, I acknowledged that there were multiple English teachers that had different teaching styles, and there were different students that had different learning methods. And what I acknowledge is that my motto is education is elevation, and being an educator, the way that I teach is not conducive for everybody. And I'm aware of that. You feel me? I don't expect to be liked by everybody. I don't expect to be, you know what I'm saying, accepted by everybody. But I do acknowledge that just because you don't like education over here, it don't mean you ain't got like education. You know what I'm saying? Education is elevation is the motto. I'm not here to be liked. I'm not here to be agreed with. For my, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times my principles, but one of them that I really like is like being about purpose of a popularity. A lot of things that I say is not going to be popular to a lot of different people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of individuals, you feel me, buy into popularity in a way that comes at the expense of communities that's already seen as exposable and disposable. Consciously is the person that's going to be very mindful about how and what we do to communities is already seen as exposable and disposable. And for me, when I start talking about, you know, trans women or black trans women, or, you know what I'm saying, black women, black cis women, I'm thinking about how they are always dealt with a certain level of exposability and disposability, and how there are a lot of individuals that benefit and profit from the way they're seen as exposable and disposable. So when Emmanuel Acho is able to get on to, you know what I'm saying, this major platform and talk shit about, you know, Andrew Reese and use his metaphor of a dog, to me, it means something. You feel what I'm saying? To me, it links into how power and domination keeps particular people structured as being exposable and disposable. And what I know, you feel me, what I learned in grad school, actually what I learned in undergrad, I learned about this term called misogyny. You feel me? It's defined as about how black women are depicted in the media and depicted in the media in the most, you know what I'm saying, negative, crazy ways. The way that Angel Reese is depicted in the media is almost textbook misogyny. You know what I mean? I'm a little country. I'm a southerner. You know, I'm born and raised in Bryan, Texas. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I might, you feel me, misogyny. You know what I'm saying? If you go to Google and you ain't familiar with the term, I think you should go check it out. You know what I'm saying? Which my mama's calling me. Um, I holler at y'all, man. Consent and coercion. Gotta learn the difference. Theconsciously.com, info at theconsciously.com is where you find everything. I do workshops, facilitations, trainings, keynotes, educational consultant. Theconsciously.com, that's where you go. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and shout out to the haters, man. I really appreciate y'all. Everybody got a role to play in the social media game. And, you know, unfortunately for y'all being the haters, y'all, you know what I'm saying, help proliferate my content. So, you know, when y'all tagging me and making videos about me, I really appreciate it in certain instances because y'all are helping the consciously virtual index grow. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, you know what I'm saying, builds the visibility. And, you know, shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all, Education Elevation. I'll holler.